Picture this, it's New Year's in Japan. The air crackles with anticipation, families gather, laughter rings out. It's a time for fresh starts, for hope, for the promise of good fortune. And who better to usher in these blessings than the seven lucky gods? These deities, each more intriguing than the last, are woven into the very fabric of Japanese culture. From the jovial Hotei with his belly full of laughter, to the elegant Benzaiten, patroness of the arts, these figures represent aspirations deeply rooted in the human experience. They're a kaleidoscope of luck, each representing a different facet of a prosperous life. But don't let the smiles fool you. Behind the beaming faces and promises of prosperity there lies a whisper, a murmur of a darker side, a shadow cast by the very beings who embody good fortune. This is where our journey begins, at the intersection of hope and fear, where the joyous celebration of the new year meets the chilling possibility of a curse. Imagine the scene again. The lanterns are lit, the sake is flowing, but a chill runs down your spine. Because amidst the joyous festivities, a different story unfolds. A story whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations like a fragile, precious secret. This is the story of the seven lucky gods' curse. They say that those who fail to honor the gods properly risk incurring their wrath. And what a terrible wrath it is. Instead of the blessings of prosperity and good health, the cursed face a year of misfortune, of hardship, of ill luck that seeps into every corner of their lives. Could it be true? Could the very beings who promise prosperity also hold the power to unleash such devastating misfortune? The question hangs heavy in the air, as inescapable as the scent of incense wafting through the crisp winter air. It's a question that has haunted the minds of many, a shadow that lingers even in the brightest of celebrations. The line between belief and reality can be blurry, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, the soul, and ancient lore. Is the curse a tangible force, a malevolent entity waiting to pounce on unsuspecting souls? Or is it something more insidious? A creeping doubt that takes root in the mind, shaping perceptions, influencing outcomes. The human mind is a powerful thing. Our beliefs, our fears, our hopes, they have a way of shaping our reality. Is it possible that the curse, whether real or imagined, holds sway over those who believe in its power? We are about to embark on a journey into the heart of this mystery. We'll delve into the folklore, the testimonies, the cultural significance of the seven lucky gods, and the chilling possibility of their curse. Together, we'll navigate the labyrinthine corridors of belief, seeking answers that may lie hidden in plain sight. In the heart of Japanese folklore, the seven lucky gods, or Shichifukujin, hold a revered place. They are not native deities, but a motley crew adopted from various cultures, reflecting Japan's historical openness to foreign influences. This eclectic group includes Ebisu, the patron of fishermen and merchants, often depicted holding a plump red snapper, symbolizing abundance and prosperity in business. Then there's Daikokuten, the god of wealth, agriculture and trade, always recognizable by his jolly demeanor, wide grin, and magical mallet that produces rice and wealth on demand. He is a favorite among farmers and business owners, a symbol of abundance and material success. Next, we meet Bishamonten, the fierce warrior god, protector against evil spirits and bringer of good fortune in battles and competitions. He is often depicted in full armor, wielding a spear and pagoda, a symbol of his divine authority. And then there's Benzaiten, the goddess of beauty, music, knowledge, and art. She's often depicted playing a baiwa, a traditional Japanese lute, her melodies said to inspire creativity and bring harmony to the world. But the seven lucky gods are not just about material wealth and protection. They also embody the human desire for happiness, longevity, and good fortune in all aspects of life. Section 2. Treasures and Tales, the Symbolism of the Gods. Each of the seven lucky gods carries a treasure, a symbolic object that embodies their unique power and blessings. Hotei, the jolly rotund god of good fortune and abundance, carries a large cloth sack said to be bottomless, representing his infinite capacity for happiness and good luck. He's often depicted surrounded by children, a symbol of innocence, joy, and the blessings of a happy family. Jurojin, the god of longevity, is often depicted as a wise old man with a long, white beard. carrying a staff adorned with a scroll containing the secrets to a long and fulfilling life. He represents wisdom, knowledge, and the aspiration for a life filled with purpose and meaning. And then there's Fukurokuju, the god of wisdom, happiness, and longevity, recognizable by his elongated forehead, symbolizing his vast knowledge and understanding. These treasures are not mere trinkets, they are potent symbols imbued with centuries of belief and cultural significance. They represent the hopes and dreams of the Japanese people, their aspirations for a life filled with happiness, prosperity, and good fortune. Section 3, A Night of Divine Voyage, the Seven Lucky Gods on New Year's Eve. As the old year gives way to the new, the seven lucky gods are said to embark on a magical journey. They sail across the heavens on their takarabun, a treasure ship laden with riches and good fortune, ready to bestow their blessings upon those who welcome them. This night, known as Kohaku Utagassen, is a time for families to gather to feast and to watch traditional performances. People across Japan eagerly await the arrival of the seven lucky gods, hoping to catch a glimpse of the takarabun in their dreams. It is believed that dreaming of the treasure ship on New Year's Eve is a sign of good luck and prosperity in the coming year. But amidst the joyous anticipation, there's a lingering question. What happens to those who don't receive the blessings of the seven lucky gods? Are they doomed to a year of misfortune, or is it just harmless superstition? Section 1. Echoes of a Curse, the Shadow of the Seven. The joyous revelry of New Year's celebrations in Japan has a darker counterpart, a whispered fear of the seven lucky gods' curse. This isn't some widely broadcasted belief, but rather a subtle undercurrent, an unspoken anxiety that snakes through the festivities. It's a fear that finds fertile ground in the quiet moments, in the shadows cast by flickering lanterns. The curse, as it's whispered, isn't something that befalls just anyone. It's reserved for those who fail to properly honor the seven lucky gods. This could mean neglecting to visit a shrine, forgetting to offer a prayer, or even simply failing to show adequate respect for the deities and their blessings. The nature of the curse itself is as varied as the misfortunes it supposedly inflicts. Some believe it manifests as a string of bad luck, a series of unfortunate events that plague the afflicted throughout the year. Others whisper of more tangible consequences: illness, financial ruin, even accidents and misfortune befalling loved ones. But regardless of its specific form, the curse is always viewed as a direct consequence of disrespecting the seven lucky gods. It serves as a stark reminder that these deities, while benevolent, are not to be trifled with. Their favor, once lost, can have dire consequences. Section 2, The Price of Neglect, Tales of Misfortune and Woe. Stories about the seven lucky gods' curse are rarely shared openly. They circulate in hushed tones, passed down through generations as cautionary tales. These stories often involve individuals who, through arrogance, forgetfulness, or simple negligence, fail to properly honor the gods during the New Year's festivities. One such tale speaks of a wealthy merchant who, blinded by his own success, neglected his annual pilgrimage to a shrine dedicated to Ebisu, the god of commerce. The following year, his business ventures crumbled, ships were lost at sea, and he was reduced to a shadow of his former wealth. Another story tells of a proud samurai who scoffed at the tradition of offering prayers to Bishamonten, the warrior god. He believed his own skill and strength were enough to protect him. Yet within the year, he was struck down by a mysterious illness, his strength abandoning him, leaving him a shell of his former self. These stories, true or not, serve as potent reminders of the potential consequences of disrespecting the seven lucky gods. They are cautionary tales woven into the fabric of Japanese folklore, reminding people of the importance of humility, respect, and honoring traditions. Section 3, Astrology and Affliction, the curse's grip on destiny. Adding another layer of complexity to the curse is the belief that certain individuals are more susceptible to its effects based on their astrological sign. This belief is rooted in the Japanese zodiac, which assigns an animal sign to each year in a 12-year cycle. According to this belief, people born in certain years are believed to be at greater risk of incurring the wrath of specific gods if they fail to show proper respect. For example, those born in the year of the dragon might be particularly vulnerable to Daikokuten's displeasure, while those born in the year of the snake might be more likely to attract Benzaiten's wrath. While there's no scientific basis for this belief, it adds another layer of anxiety and intrigue to the curse. It reinforces the idea that fate plays a role in our lives and that even seemingly random misfortunes can be attributed to supernatural forces. This connection between astrology and the curse also serves as a powerful tool for self-reflection. It encourages individuals to examine their own behavior and to question whether their actions might be inviting misfortune into their lives. Section 1. Whispers in the Wind, Real-Life Encounters with the Curse. The Seven Lucky Gods curse isn't just a dusty old legend confined to ancient scrolls and whispered folk tales, it's a living belief. One that continues to color the lives of many in Japan, particularly during the heightened spiritual awareness of the new year. While some dismiss it as mere superstition, there are those who claim to have experienced its chilling effects firsthand. These aren't always grand, dramatic tales of ruin and despair. Sometimes they're subtle, almost mundane occurrences, but ones that leave a lingering sense of unease. A string of minor misfortunes, an unexpected illness, a business deal gone sour, these seemingly unconnected events can take on a sinister significance when viewed through the lens of the curse. One woman, a tea house owner in Kyoto, recounts how she once forgot to leave an offering for Jurajin, the god of longevity, on New Year's Eve. The following week, her beloved grandmother, a pillar of strength and wisdom in her life, fell ill and passed away. While rationally she knows it could be a coincidence, a part of her can't help but wonder if her negligence had angered the gods. These personal stories, whispered in hushed tones, passed from one generation to the next, keep the curse alive in the hearts and minds of many. They are a testament to the power of belief, the way even the smallest doubt can blossom into a certainty when faced with unexplained misfortune. Section 2. The Businessman's Plight, a New Year's Day to Forget. Perhaps one of the most striking examples of the curse's supposed power is the story of Kenji Tanaka, a successful businessman from Osaka. Known for his sharp mind and even sharper business acumen, Kenji had always been a pragmatic man, one who placed his faith in hard work and calculated risks rather than ancient superstitions. However, his worldview was shaken to its core one fateful New Year's Day. After a night of revelry celebrating a particularly profitable year, Kenji overslept and, in his haste, completely forgot to perform his usual ritual of visiting the local shrine dedicated to Daikokuten, the god of wealth. What followed was a year that Kenji would rather forget. Business deals that seemed like sure things fell apart, investments soured, and his company, once a shining example of success, began to teeter on the brink of collapse. Desperate, Kenji consulted with fortune tellers, performed purification rituals, anything to appease the gods he'd offended. Whether by coincidence or some strange twist of fate, Kenji's luck eventually turned. His company recovered, albeit not to its former glory, and he managed to salvage a portion of his fortune. To this day, Kenji remains unsure whether his misfortunes were a direct result of the curse or simply a string of bad luck. However, one thing's for certain, he never again forgot to pay his respects to Daikokuten on New Year's Day. Section 3. The Weight of Words When Testimony Fuels Belief. Kenji's story, along with countless others like it, highlights the peculiar power of anecdotal evidence. While lacking the concrete nature of scientific proof, these personal accounts hold immense sway, especially when told with conviction and emotion. They tap into our innate desire to find patterns in randomness, to attribute meaning to seemingly unconnected events. When someone like Kenji, a successful, level-headed individual, attributes his downfall to something as seemingly far-fetched as a curse, it makes others stop and wonder. Could there be something more to these ancient beliefs? Something that defies rational explanation? This is where the line between superstition and reality truly blurs. As these stories are passed down, retold, and embellished over generations, They take on a life of their own. They become part of the cultural fabric, woven into the tapestry of belief, shaping the way people perceive the world around them. The seven lucky gods' curse might not be something you can see or touch, but for those who believe, its presence is as real as the air they breathe. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder of the unseen forces that might govern our lives and the importance of respecting traditions that have stood the test of time. Section 1. Experts in the shadows academia's take on the curse. Stepping back from the chilling tales and whispered fears, we turn to the reasoned world of academia, seeking a more analytical perspective on the seven lucky gods' curse. Scholars, anthropologists, and cultural experts have long studied Japanese folklore, attempting to unravel the complex threads of belief, history, and social dynamics that weave these captivating narratives. When it comes to the curse, most experts approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism, viewing it not as a supernatural phenomenon, but rather a reflection of deeper cultural anxieties and societal structures. They point out that the curse often surfaces in times of uncertainty or change, serving as a coping mechanism for people grappling with forces beyond their control. Professor Hiroshi Nakamura, a leading expert in Japanese folklore at Kyoto University, explains the seven lucky gods, with their promise of fortune and prosperity, represent an idealized version of life. The curse, on the other hand, embodies the fear of the unknown, the anxieties associated with failure and misfortune. These fears, he argues, are amplified during the new year, a time when people are particularly attuned to the precarious nature of life and the possibility of a fresh start. The curse, then, becomes a way to rationalize misfortune, to find meaning in seemingly random events. The human mind is a fascinating and often perplexing organ. We are hardwired to seek patterns, to find connections even where none exist. This tendency, while often beneficial, can also lead us down the rabbit hole of superstition, where correlation is mistaken for causation and random events are imbued with profound meaning. Psychologists argue that belief in curses, like any superstition, stems from a desire for control in the face of uncertainty. When we feel powerless over our circumstances, attributing misfortune to a curse provides a sense of order, a reason for the seemingly inexplicable. Dr. Ayumi Sato, a psychologist specializing in cognitive biases, elaborates, superstitions thrive on confirmation bias. We tend to remember and give more weight to instances that confirm our beliefs, while conveniently forgetting or downplaying those that contradict them. This is particularly true with curses. When someone who believes in the seven lucky gods' curse experiences a misfortune, they're more likely to attribute it to the curse, reinforcing their belief, even if the event has a perfectly rational explanation. While the curse might be rooted in fear and uncertainty, it also gives rise to a fascinating array of rituals and practices aimed at appeasing the gods and warding off misfortune. These rituals, passed down through generations, offer a sense of control, a way to actively engage with the supernatural and mitigate potential risks. One common practice is Hatsumode, the first shrine visit of the new year. Millions of people across Japan flock to shrines and temples, offering prayers, making offerings, and purchasing lucky charms to ensure a prosperous year. These acts of devotion, regardless of their actual efficacy, provide a sense of comfort, a tangible way to express hope and ward off fear. For those who believe they might have angered the gods, there are also specific rituals aimed at seeking forgiveness and restoring balance. These might involve elaborate purification ceremonies, offerings of special foods or incense, or even pilgrimages to distant shrines associated with the specific deity they believe they've offended. These rituals, while often dismissed as superstition by outsiders, play a vital role in Japanese culture. They offer a sense of community, a connection to tradition, and a way to navigate the uncertainties of life with a sense of hope and purpose. Our journey into the heart of the seven lucky gods' curse takes us off the beaten path, away from bustling cities and academic halls to a small, secluded village nestled amidst bamboo forests and whispering rice paddies. Here, time seems to flow at a different pace, governed by the rhythms of nature and the echoes of ancient traditions. It's in this village, known as Kamigawa, meaning River of the Gods, that we meet Hana, an elderly woman with eyes as deep and knowing as the centuries-old cedar trees that surround her home. Hana is the village storyteller, a keeper of history, myths and local legends passed down through generations of her family. And it's from Hana that we hear a tale that sends shivers down our spines, a story so deeply woven into the fabric of Kamigawa that it's impossible to separate fact from folklore. It's the story of a time when the seven lucky gods themselves are said to have walked among the villagers, their presence both a blessing and a curse. According to Hana, generations ago, a terrible storm ravaged Kamigawa, threatening to wash away homes, livelihoods, and the very spirit of the village. As the villagers huddled in fear, praying for deliverance, the seven lucky gods appeared on a nearby hilltop, their figures illuminated by an ethereal glow. Section 2. The ritual ancestral knowledge to break the curse. The villagers, awestruck and terrified, fell to their knees, begging for mercy. One by one, the gods spoke, their voices booming like thunder, yet soothing as a gentle breeze. They warned of an impending flood, a great wave that would engulf the village if they did not act swiftly. But the gods also offered a glimmer of hope. They revealed a secret ritual, a series of offerings and prayers that, if performed with absolute sincerity and unwavering faith, could appease their wrath and avert disaster. It was a complex ritual, requiring specific ingredients gathered from the surrounding mountains, intricate chants passed down through generations of priests, and a purity of heart that tested the very core of their being. Armed with this knowledge, the villagers spent the remaining daylight hours gathering the necessary items, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and desperate hope. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the village, they assembled at the base of the hill where they had encountered the gods. With Hana's great-grandmother leading the way, the villagers performed the ritual with a precision born of generations of tradition and a fervor fueled by their impending doom. They chanted, they danced, they offered their most prized possessions, their voices echoing through the valley, a desperate plea for salvation. Section 3. Beyond belief, faith, fear, and the human condition. The storm raged throughout the night, the wind howling like a banshee, the rain beating down with relentless fury. But as the first rays of dawn pierced through the darkness, a hush fell over the village. The storm had passed, leaving behind a trail of devastation, but sparing the heart of Kamigawa. The villagers emerged from their homes, their faces etched with a mixture of relief and awe. The floodwaters had indeed risen, but they had stopped just short of the village perimeter, as if held back by an invisible force. On the hilltop where the gods had appeared, they found a single white feather, shimmering in the morning light, a sign that their prayers had been heard, their ritual accepted. To this day, the villagers of Kamigawa celebrate the anniversary of that fateful night as a testament to the power of faith and the importance of honoring the seven lucky gods. Hana, the keeper of their story, concludes her tale with a twinkle in her eye and a whisper. The gods are real, you see. They walk among us, sometimes in shadow, sometimes in light. But they are always watching, always listening, waiting to see if we are worthy of their blessings. Her words linger in the air, a chilling reminder that even in the face of modernity and reason, ancient beliefs hold a powerful sway over the human heart. The seven lucky gods' curse might remain an enigma, a mystery shrouded in folklore and superstition, but perhaps in the end it's not about proving or disproving its existence. Perhaps it's about acknowledging the very human need to believe in something beyond ourselves, something that gives meaning to our joys, our sorrows, and the unpredictable journey of life itself. Section 1, the enduring allure of the unknown. So here we stand at the end of our journey, having traversed the vibrant landscape of Japanese folklore, delved into the heart of ancient beliefs, and confronted the chilling possibility of the seven lucky gods' curse. Have we found definitive answers? Perhaps not. But in seeking to unravel this enigma, we've stumbled upon something far more profound, the enduring allure of the unknown. The human mind, it seems, has an insatiable appetite for mystery. We are drawn to stories that defy easy explanation, that hint at forces beyond our comprehension. The Seven Lucky Gods curse, with its blend of folklore, superstition, and psychological intrigue, taps into this primal fascination. Whether we choose to believe in the curse's literal existence is almost beside the point. What truly captivates us is the possibility, the tantalizing notion, that our lives might be influenced by unseen forces, that fate might play a role in our fortunes and misfortunes. And in a world increasingly dominated by logic, reason, and scientific certainty, this embrace of the unknown offers a certain comfort. It reminds us that there are still mysteries to be explored, wonders yet to be unveiled, and that the human experience at its core is a tapestry woven from both the seen and the unseen. Section 2, a tapestry of belief, weaving meaning into the everyday. As we've seen, the Seven Lucky Gods curse is more than just a scary story whispered in hushed tones. It's a thread woven into the very fabric of Japanese culture, a belief system that has shaped the way people perceive the world for centuries. From the joyous rituals of Hatsumode to the cautionary tales passed down through generations, the curse and the gods it embodies provide a framework for understanding life's complexities. They offer a sense of order in a chaotic world, a way to make sense of both good fortune and misfortune. In a way, the curse, with its emphasis on respect, humility, and honoring tradition, serves as a moral compass. It reminds people of the importance of showing gratitude for blessings received and acknowledging the potential consequences of greed, arrogance, or disrespect for the natural order. And while the specific beliefs and practices surrounding the Seven Lucky Gods might be unique to Japan, the underlying themes they explore are universal. Every culture has its own myths, legends, and superstitions, ways of explaining the unknown, coping with fear, and finding meaning in the face of life's uncertainties. Section 3, the Seven Lucky Gods curse, a mirror to the soul. As our journey comes to a close, we're left with a lingering question. What does the enduring belief in the Seven Lucky Gods curse tell us about ourselves? Perhaps it reveals our innate desire for control, our need to impose order on a world that often feels random and unpredictable. Or maybe it speaks to our capacity for both hope and fear, our yearning for a life filled with blessings while simultaneously dreading the possibility of misfortune. The curse, in its own way, embodies this duality, reminding us that good fortune and misfortune are often two sides of the same coin. Ultimately, the Seven Lucky Gods curse, like any good myth, serves as a mirror to the soul. It reflects our deepest fears, our aspirations, and our ongoing quest to understand the forces that shape our destinies. And whether we choose to embrace or dismiss these ancient beliefs, they offer a valuable glimpse into the human condition, reminding us that even in the face of modernity, the power of myth and the allure of the unknown continue to hold sway over our hearts and minds.